Hey everybody, it's Eagle 1023 coming to you from Tampa, Florida. It is 12:31 a.m. It's Tuesday, June 4th, 2013. This video again, it's been a hell of a long time since I put a video out. But I wanted to put this out because I wanted to get a feel for people's impressions on the historic citizen hearing on disclosure that was held at the National Press Club from, what was it, April 29th through May 3rd in Washington, D.C. I thought it was telling. One of the headlines in one of the papers was making fun of it. Hearing seeks to find intelligent life in Washington, D.C., which I thought was an oxymoron and kind of funny. Seeks to find intelligent life in Washington, D.C. That was a knee slapper. But anyway, back to this. I was just wondering. I wanted to get a feel for how people felt about the hearing. And I'm hoping people will comment in the comment section. Do you think it got enough coverage? Do you think that the mainstream media covered this, or do you believe that they ridiculed it? How did you feel about the coverage? If you watched the hearings, did you learn anything? Um, what were your impressions? Um, to me, as for me, I feel like the citizens' hearing on disclosure was the most important hearing to date ever held in Washington, D.C. That's my impression. This issue, exopolitics, is of paramount importance. I don't think that there is a discovery known to man or that man has come up with yet that is more pressing or more important than this. The idea, the fact that we're not alone in the universe is huge. It's huge. It changes the paradigms, every paradigm. It shifts the paradigms. It forces an evolution beyond what most, I think, could even begin to imagine, both positive and negative. Um, but this hearing was incredibly important. I felt the witnesses were truthful. I believe that they described what they experienced to the best of their ability. I believe that it was in with a lot of sincerity. And I have to tell you, for each and every witness that testified, I have to give them, an A+ for courage. It takes a lot of balls to discuss issues that most, well, maybe not even most anymore, but a majority of the public still ridicules. Um, you know, Disclosure and exopolitics is one of my favorite issues to study. And I have looked into exopolitics and the matters of exopolitics and the spirituality that's behind this as well for over 7 years now. At my channel here, the Eagle 1023 channel, or the Keep an Open Mind channel, there are literally over 10,000 videos in my playlists, and I can proudly say that every one of the videos in the playlist I've watched. So that's a lot of information. I've got a bigger than average head, so the computer, my servers have plenty of room to store the data. But that's a lot of information, and for me, I have to give each and every one of these witnesses kudos, and I would shake their hands for having had the courage to tell the world the truth. There's no doubt in my mind that we are not alone in the universe. In fact, I think anyone that is still stuck in that paradigm, that 20th century paradigm, needs to wake up. I mean, come on now. There's no excuse for being that ignorant any longer. The information's out there. The proof is out there. To suggest that the tens of millions of unidentified flying craft are all just a figment of somebody's imagination, or that they're all from planet Earth, that human beings created them, is really to live in fantasy world. Talk about being disconnected. There's just no way that what these witnesses and literally thousands of other witnesses, if not tens of thousands of other witnesses, could reveal, all of this just being fabricated or the figment of somebody's imagination. The documents, the government documents, that the top secret nature of this, the 23 levels of secrecy, the magic 12, all of this, the CIA whistleblower that gave the really chilling testimony about former President Eisenhower threatening to use the army from Colorado to send in the what was it, the first army from Colorado to invade Area 51, because he was not going to be told, no, you don't have a right to know. And when he discovered, after the CIA sent representatives to find out what the hell was going on, and they came back and instructed the president, and former President Nixon was there with Eisenhower and the former FBI director, the Hoover, J. Edgar Hoover. When they were when they got the details of what was going on out at Area 51, he basically was speechless, according to what the CIA whistleblower said. So, there is so much to this. There is so much information out there. There is so much proof. People say, where's the proof? Where's the smoking gun? I say, where's your head? Where's your head at? If you've looked into the issue as long as I have, like I said, 7 years, and so many of my friends here and subscribers at my YouTube channel, they're all awake and aware. They get this. We're trying to awaken our fellow citizens, and quite honestly, it's like we're running a race towards our own evolution, and most of us are way ahead of the pack. We're at the head of the line, and we have to wait for those that are still sitting on the couch to get up and come join us. This is so critically important. The citizens' hearing was the most important hearing that has ever been held, I believe. And even though it was a citizens' hearing and not a congressional hearing, I think it was the most important hearing thus far, at least in my lifetime. And the information was just riveting. Some of the details. We're literally holding back our evolution, folks, because too many people are dismissive of the facts and the truth. They can't deal with this, and it's really putting a halt to our evolution. Imagine where we could be if we actually grew up and got the program together. Got with the program, stood up and said, okay, we get it now. This creation, this universe, this infinite universe with quadrillions of stars and planets, for someone today in the 21st century to believe that this creation, that whatever created us, source creator is what I call it, or prime creator, God, there's other names, for this creator to just create life on one tiny blue planet, in the Milky Way system, it's just ludicrous. It's crazy. It's an arrogance and an ego that's just so far removed from reality that I don't know what to say. Anyway, let me say this as well. I received a message from a gentleman by the name of Stephen, and he was pretty upset with me, actually, because in one of the videos, I left a comment about Stephen Greer and Stephen Bassett, and I had basically said that I didn't resonate with their energies, that I felt a little uneasy with them when I see their auras, even through videos, and I feel their energies. I don't have a very good feeling about them, and I don't know why. It's not fair to them, but I just don't have a very good feeling about them. And I kind of made a comment about that. Be careful with, you have to be very discerning about everything that's out there. And he was upset with me because I actually expressed, some concerns about Stephen Bassett and Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer, and I can understand that. But he's noticed that I have this playlist and said, why would you have a playlist on this if you don't believe these guys? That doesn't make any sense. And my response to Stephen was that those who seek to deny you information wish to be your master. I think the hearing was of vital importance. I think that it's critical. I don't think there was nearly enough coverage. I know that there was a media blackout, because those who control the media wish to keep us dumb and numb, and that's how they do it. This was, poo-hooed and made jokes. It was made fun of initially, but some of the media sources, like Huffington Post, were pretty fair in their coverage. and quite extensive actually. The Huffington Post did a lot of stories every day they were there, and I was impressed with their coverage actually. If you get a chance, check them out. But just because I may be uncomfortable with, and it's not just those two, there were a couple of other individuals there as well that I didn't feel comfortable with. Nick Pope, for example. I think these are good people. They're playing their role in this game here on Earth. They've got a role to play too. But the bottom line is it's important to disclose whatever we can disclose. Knowledge is power. And to have this information is important for all of us to evolve, for our societies to evolve. So that, to me, trumps any concern I may have about individual members within the disclosure hearing. Stephen Greer, I believe, has an alternative agenda. That's just how I feel. I'm glad that he's made this an issue that's now seen around the world. I'm glad that he was a part of that. I'm glad that Stephen Bassett, being the only lobbyist in Washington, D.C., trying to bring this information to light, I'm glad that he's there doing that. I don't know what his motive is. I don't know if there's an ulterior motive, if maybe he's being instructed to do this, to release this slowly, and if that's the case, why? And again, there were several witnesses. This is what I've understood from Albert Lamont Weber, that there were several witnesses willing to testify about the excursions to Mars, that we have a program that exists on Mars and that we are traveling back and forth with our ET brothers and sisters that are coming back and forth from Mars. I think that would have been important to disclose. In fact, that would have been explosive had that have been disclosed during this, but Stephen Bassett and other members decided that would not be necessary, that was not going to happen. So, and maybe they didn't want the ridicule, maybe they don't want people to know. I don't know. So everybody will have to assess that on their own. But anyway, the hearing was great. I'm glad that people have come to view these very important videos. My hat's off to Stephen Bassett and to Stephen Greer for presenting this information to the world. No matter what their motives are, I'm glad that this information is being released, whether it's a slow release or not, that it's being released. And I hope to see more and more information released. Paul Hellyer, this gentleman here, was a former Canadian defense minister. What an excellent testimony. The CIA whistleblower here. This was riveting. I listened to it twice. I was just, wow. Very impressive. The police detective here, this gentleman here, the police detective, the passion in his speech was, undeniable. He's basically saying, look, get with the program, America. Get with the program, the world. Get with the program, the human being. We've got a lot to learn, and we need to know what we need to know. We've got to know what's going on, Stanton Friedman's been at this. He was the original gentleman that broke the Roswell incident. And this man knows this subject matter. He knows. So anyway, I just wanted to let Steve know that even if I have issues with individuals within the citizens hearing and those that are trying to get the word out, that doesn't mean that you throw the baby out with the bathwater. You don't dismiss the citizen hearing and the value that it offers just because some of the members may have ulterior motives. And again, it's just a gut feeling that I have. It comes from my heart space. And I would never tell them that they don't have a right to their own agenda. It's their agenda, There is no such thing as bad information. It's just information. It's what you choose to do with the information that matters. And I give them credit for making this such a widely discussed topic, and that they are pushing for disclosure, no matter what their motives are. So anyway, if you have comments, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear what people think, if they think the citizen hearing was beneficial, if it got enough coverage, if it was fair. I'd love to know. So anyway, thanks for swinging by, and I'll put another video up sometime soon, a lot sooner than the last video that I put out. So it's Eagle 1023. I'm going to sign out, and I wish you all the best. Okay, be in joy, never in fear. Namaste.